What a showdown at the Austrian Grand Prix. Red Bull KTM delivered a home race performance that turned heads, fielding 3 KTM RC16 bikes in the top 7, more than any competing brand. In blazing heat at the Red Bull Ring, Pedro Acosta narrowly missed a podium, taking 4th in round 13 as the 2025 MotoGP calendar resumed. Enea Bastianini and Brad Binder followed up in 5th and 7th, rounding out a weekend full of drama and determination. Red Bull KTM's presence at their home circuit is about more than just tradition. It's about pressure, expectation, and the hunger to outperform. Pedro Acosta displayed podium-worthy pace, finishing P4 with 13 points and building on his impressive consecutive sprint podiums from Saturday. If you're counting, that's a young rider consistently in the mix. From the Red Bull KTM Tech 3 squad, Enea Bastianini surged to P5 after a tough start, marking his best finish of the season. His teammate, Maverick Vinales, missed the full weekend to focus on rehabbing a recovering left shoulder. Brad Binder, always a fighter, had to battle back from being forced off track in a heated incident, rallying hard for P7 after reaching P5 in the sprint. Another sign that his form is returning. In Moto3, Jose Antonio Rueda kept Red Bull KTM Ajo at the sharp end with a top 5 finish, while Valentin Perón shone brightly, and Brian Uriarte claimed victory in both Red Bull MotoGP Rookies Cup races, a series now approaching its finale. But here's where it gets controversial. The mounting expectation on KTM at their beloved Red Bull Ring has been both a boost and a burden since 2016. Not every factory can handle home pressure, but did KTM maximize their opportunity this weekend? Saturday's sprint already hinted at KTM's intent, with Acosta, Bastianini, and Binder grabbing 3rd, 5th, and 7th. Sunday's 28-lap main saw strategic grid placements: Bastianini from P5, Acosta from P7, Binder from P11, but notably missing was Vinales, prioritizing recuperation over risk. Acosta was in full attack mode from lights out, quickly mixing with the frontrunners. The 21-year-old's relentless pace looked destined for a podium, but he slipped to 4th in the closing stages. Still, the progress was clear, and his learning curve continues to steepen. Bastianini, after an imperfect getaway, showed real grit and tire management to climb into 5th, the highest he's placed all year. Binder, meanwhile, became embroiled in multiple on-track altercations, including one that forced him off and damaged his machine. Despite this, he pressed on, grabbing 7th, a result that reflected his fighting spirit and hinted at untapped potential. Coming up, MotoGP ventures into fresh territory with the debut of Balaton Park, bringing the Hungarian Grand Prix back after a 3-decade absence. Who's ready for the unpredictability a new circuit brings? Post-race reactions brought revealing insights. Pedro Acosta, 4th, now 7th in championship. We pushed hard, even to the limit with the front tire. It's always a challenge, but we must be satisfied. We've consistently landed in the top 5 all weekend. Our race pace has improved significantly, though it's clear we have more to give and much to learn. A home podium would have been perfect, but our push is far from over. Enea Bastianini, 5th, 14th in championship. This is my season's best. I made a slip-up on lap 2 and had to fight back, but I showed strength and resilience. There are still areas to work on, but recent races prove clear progress. I've heavily tweaked the bike throughout the year, but we finally found a consistent setup. The team's aero upgrades made a real difference. Our aim remains to be consistently competitive. Brad Binder, 7th, 11th in championship. Today could have been much better. I had a scrappy start, but fought my way up to 5th before being pushed off jack and losing a wing in the process. That made the rest of the race tough, with more wheelies and bike wobble from lost aero. Still, I gave everything. 7th is decent, but I felt we had more to offer. Aki Ajo, Red Bull KTM factory racing team manager, echoed a cautiously optimistic tone. Having all our riders in the top 7 is a solid outcome. We entered Sunday with high hopes after Saturday's strong showing. While a podium would have been ideal, we can't overlook the significant steps forward, especially from Brad and Enea in recent rounds. With the updates from the factory and the test team, I'm positive as we head toward the new challenge of Balaton Park. And this is the part most people miss, the sheer complexity and teamwork it takes to tweak setups, adapt strategies, and perform under the microscope of a home crowd. Is the current trajectory enough to put KTM back on the top step, or should they be more aggressive with their technical evolution? Race results: MotoGP Grand Prix of Austria. 1. Marc Marquez, ESP, Ducati, 4211.006. 2. Fermin Aldeguer, ESP, Ducati, plus 1.118. 3. Marco Bezzecchi, Italy, Aprilia, plus 3.426. 4. Pedro Acosta, Red Bull KTM Factory Racing, plus 6.864. 5. Enea Bastianini, Italy, Red Bull KTM Tech 3, plus 8.731. 7. Brad Binder, RSA, Red Bull KTM Factory Racing, plus 10.476. DNS. Maverick Viñales, Red Bull KTM Tech 3, Championship Standings, MotoGP. 1. Marc Marquez, ESP, Ducati, 418 points. 2. Alex Marquez, ESP, Ducati, 276. 3. Francesco Bagnaia, Italy, Ducati, 221. 7. Pedro Acosta, Red Bull KTM Factory Racing, 144. 11. Brad Binder, Red Bull KTM Factory Racing, 82. Maverick Viñales, ESP, Red Bull KTM Tech 3, 69. 14. Enea Bastianini, Italy, Red Bull KTM Tech 3, 63. KTM GP Academy Roundup. Red Bull KTM Ajo has led the field in both rider and team championships, with Jose Antonio Rueda and rookie teammate Alvaro Carpe starting from 8th and 7th on the grid. But the star of qualifying was Tech 3's Valentin Perron, whose extraordinary time attack landed him his